Hi guys, welcome to N.A.V Live. You're with Navek. I'm about to show you a tutorial on how to make a song. I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible, but also make it as detailed as possible. Okay, first thing, I'm working in Logic, so I've got Logic open. I'm just going to open a new project. Don't close. Empty project. Software instrument, create. Okay, what I like to do first is I start with the drum beat. I get a good drum beat down, and then I move on to possibly the bass or the melody. So first thing, I'm going to just turn my loop on up here, select my media, go to my browser, and I'm going to go to my samples. Now just a couple of things to remember before we start. You want to get your tempo set up. You need to have some sort of idea of what your song is going to sound like, or what you want your track to sound like before you begin. You want to sort of figure what genre you want as well. There's no set rules. I'll probably keep repeating this, so just ignore me if it gets too tiresome or too repetitive, but there's no rules. Whatever you're happy with, whatever you want to make it. Okay, so first off, I'm just going to select a kick drum or bass drum. Go into here. Okay, and I'm going to select. I'm just going to turn this down because I don't want to blow your guys' ears off. You guys, I don't want to blow your ears off. Right, I'm going to use this one. I'm just going to drag it in underneath my instrument here, and this will create a new audio track. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. And I'm just going to copy this. So we've got 4 beats in the bar. So now if I play this, I'm just going to turn my input off because I don't want that. Okay, tempo is 125. I'm just going to select 48. I'm just going to shorten this kick drum. So I'm going to click on here to select them all, and I'm just going to shorten it down to about here. That should be right. Now because I've shortened it, you're going to have a little click at the end. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use my fade out option. So I'm going to select them all, and I want them to fade out here. I'm just going to select a value. I'm going to do 25. I get an error message because of some kind of bug in the system. If you don't save your work or save what you're doing, you get an error code whenever you change the fade in or fade out. I don't know why this is. I haven't decided to update my software. No doubt if I update it, it'll probably get rid of this bug, but I'm just going to carry on. I'm happy with it, so I'll just carry on. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I need to make it a bit shorter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 148. Okay, I'm just going to turn this down. Okay, so we've got the kick there. I'm just going to add in the snare now. Okay, I'm going to go to snares, and I'm going to use this one. I'm just going to copy this over, and I'm also going to use this one. Oh, we don't want to do that. just going to shorten this sample a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to just select this division so I get it all spot on. Snap to absolute. I'm going to snap automation as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Select it there. Oh, wouldn't you know it? I've done the wrong one. It's these ones I want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, right. No, I don't need to change that at all. Okay. Okay, another little trick. The second snare here. I've got my kick and my snare. This is how it's going to sound. Now that's very, very loud. That's clipping as well, so I'm just going to turn the volumes down. I'm also going to turn the input off. There we go. Volume. Okay, I'll select this one. Turn this down to 20. So that's our basic beat. That's the beginning. Now a little trick I like to use. I'm just going to click this. Display in milliseconds. The second snare I want to come in ever so slightly just after the first snare, just to give it a little more depth. So I'm going to turn this to 2. So it's 2 milliseconds later than the first one. You may not be able to hear the difference, but when you hear it in the final mix and you go between one and the other with no delay and then add the delay back, you can almost just pick it out. When these two are hitting together along with the kick drum, you can get a lot of phasing issues where all the sound hits at the same time. It all muddles it together. So if I select this to come in ever so slightly later, the sample will hit 2 milliseconds after these ones. Just clears it up a little bit. I'm just going to copy and paste all this. There we go. Now we've got our basic beat down. Okay, I'm just going to choose a hi-hat quick. Okay, choose this open hi-hat. I'm going to put it in, create a new track. Just going to zoom in. I'm going to put this on the offbeat of the drums. So let me just turn my division down so it makes it a bit easier. There we go. So now I'm going to place this on every offbeat of the kick drum. Select them all, copy them out, zoom out a little bit, select them all again, and copy them all over offbeat. There we go. Just going to sort the volume out of this. Gonna do it about there. Just see how that sounds. Okay, so now I'm going to add another hi-hat. Okay, I'm going to choose a closed hi-hat now. I'm just going to come back out of this. Oh, I don't want to do that. I think it's number 3. So I'm going to use this one here. Number 3, I'm just going to place this in. Okay. I'm going to have this hi-hat running double time with the beat. And I think this was 20 point something. 15.6. Okay, so now we've got a closed hi-hat, our open hi-hat. We've got a pretty good beat going. So I need to come back up. I'm just going to choose some added percussion now, just to sort of fill the track out a bit. And it was 53, I believe I was using. Yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to add this in as well. So again, here. Length of 3, double it, select them, fade out value of 10, there we go. I'm just going to add these in where they need to be. There we go. Okay, so this is what it sounds like so far. I forgot to set the volume. Okay, I'm just going to set the volume of this. About there. Okay, moving on. Okay, I'm just adding in now some extra percussion. I'm going to add in this cowbell. Okay. Okay, that should work. Okay, volume. About there. Cool. Not sounding too bad. I'm just going to copy these again and add them down here. I'm just going to make sure they're there. Okay. So now let's see how this sounds. So we've got a pretty full beat at the minute. Next thing I'm going to do is add in the bass line. So I'm going to take my track that I had up here, the instrument track, just drag it down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an input. So I'm going to add my instrument into here. I'm going to select my monophonic synth. And I'm going to select my dub bass. Now I've tweaked it a little bit. I'm just going to close this one and open up here my dub bass. Copy this because I've got it set to how I want it. I'm going to open up this one and I'm going to paste it here. So now the settings are how I want it. And I've got my bass line already written out. Select my copy. Okay, I've got my bass already thought out here. I'm just going to click stop so it's at the beginning and I'm going to paste it in here. Do you want to copy the automation? Don't copy. Stop. Just make sure this is at the very beginning. Turn this down again. Okay, let's have a listen and see what this is like. Okay, that bass isn't too impressive at the minute, is it? Yeah, it's a bit quiet. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spice it up a little bit. I'm going to open up my mixer. Okay, I'm going to add a compressor. Silver compressor. I'm just going to close this for a second. And I'm going to add one of my audio units. Old school verb. Mono. Love it. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is just open up this, copy this, I'm going to open this and paste this here. Now what I've done is I've already got this preset up. and I'm going to side chain it to the kick drum. So every time the kick drum sounds, it's going to dip the bass a little bit and help the kick drum come through. So I'm just going to side chain, select the bass drum or the kick drum. And now every time the kick drum sounds, you'll see this move, and the audio of the bass will come down. So if we just have a quick listen. So what this is doing is dipping the audio at the moment. Now we've got too much reverb on that at the moment. Okay, I'm just going to paste these ones here. There we go. The bass is fattened up a little bit. Okay, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in the side chain for the drums. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an auxiliary channel by clicking here. I want to create a stereo channel. Input. I'm going to select a bus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send all these drums to a bus. Bus 1. So all these will go to the bus 1, and the bus 1 will be sitting on the auxiliary channel. Create. So input of the auxiliary channel will be bus 1, and it will go to the stereo output. I'm going to call this drums. There we go. And I'm going to select all of these and send them to the bus drums. There we go. So now all of these, all of our drums and percussion will be going straight to the drums track. Okay, so on the auxiliary channel here with the drums, I'm going to add a compressor. Just one of my free ones, OTT. I'm just going to select a clean crossover. Go back. I'm going to select this to 42. Have this at 35. 1.3. 1.3. There we go. Play around with all the settings and just get a nice feel for it. I'm doing this really quickly, so I'm just setting it to a level that I already sort of have predetermined. Let's have a quick listen now and see how the drums sound. So the drums have been brought out quite a bit. It's fattened them up a little bit, giving them a sort of slightly different sound. Actually, do you know what I'm going to go ahead and do? I'm going to add another auxiliary channel, another stereo. This time bus number 2, because bus 1's already in use. And I'm going to call this reverb or verb. There we go. I'm going to add another old school verb here. Paste. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send everything else except the kick drum to bus number 2 or verb. And what this is going to do is going to allow me to add reverb to all of the drums except the kick drum. The kick drum is going to sound pretty nasty with reverb on it, in my own opinion, so I'm not going to do that. So now I've sent all of these snares and the percussion all to the reverb auxiliary track. Let's just have a quick look, quick listen and see how this sounds. Okay. So next up I'm going to add a melody. I'm just going to add a new track. It's going to be a software instrument track. Create. Oh, don't know why I did it there. I'm just going to drag it down here. Okay, I'm going to add an instrument. I'm going to go to my instruments, towel, and I'm going to do a plugin. I'm going to select a preset because I'm just going to do something quick and easy. I'm quite a big fan of using presets, although I do suggest you do tweak them, change them a little bit, give them your own sort of sound, but I'm just going to do this for quickness. Yes, SSS, where is it? Lead. Shiver stab. I'm going to use this one. I'm just going to close this. Okay, I'm just going to turn this down a bit. Okay, again, I've already got the notes on the melody of this already figured out, and I've already got it set to how I want it. I'm just going to drag it there. Just going to get rid of them for a second, just so we can hear what it sounds like. Okay. Right, I'm going to select another auxiliary track. Again, stereo, bus 3, create. This one I'm going to call lead, because I want my lead synthesizers going through this. And I'm going to select another old school verb. And I'm just going to select my settings here. Okay, so I've got the reverb set. I'm also going to select one of these. Now what I want this for, I want to make the sound wider, so I'm going to do a stereo image. Boom, there we go. Nice and quick for you guys. As I said, play around with your settings. I've already got mine predetermined and set up, so I'm just going through this for quickness, just to show you how to build up a song and how to layer it. Let's have a quick listen now. The other thing I didn't do is route this, so I want to route this to bus 3. Now let's have another listen. There we go. Widens up the sound for you. Again, gives the track a little bit of depth. Okay, I'm going to add in another melody, another synthesizer, which is going to complement this one and give a fatter sound of the main lead. Again, software instrument, create. I already know what I'm going to use. ES2. I'm going to select one of my already pre-made instruments. I created this sound, and I'm just going to copy this melody down, select these, and I'm just going to name the regions the same as the track. There we go. So now they're the same but on a different instrument. I'm also going to send this to bus 3, which is the lead, and I'm just going to check the volume. Okay, I'm just going to turn this down there, and let's have a quick listen. Okay, doing well. Okay, next I'm going to add in some pads just to give the track a bit of atmosphere. So I'm going to add a new track, software instrument. Again, I already know what I'm going to use. I'm going to select my sampler, stereo. I'm going to select factory, synthesizers, synth pads, and I know this one's called another pad. Okay. Just gonna selecting here, hit stop. Okay, I'm going to paste my pads in, just make sure they're at the beginning, and the volume. Okay, let's have a quick listen and see how this sounds together. Oh, my hard drive has a tendency to just stop, and with Logic, if it hasn't got a fast enough processing power from the hard drive, or it can't read the hard drive fast enough, it just stops everything. So we're doing pretty well here. Okay, on the main channel, the main output, so every other track, including the auxiliary buses, will go to the output track before it goes to the speakers. I'm going to stick on here a Loud Max, my Loud Max plugin. I'm just going to set this, I'm going to set the threshold to -5. I'm setting my threshold to -5, output I want to be 0, and underneath I'm just going to add a limiter, so dynamics, limiter, stereo. I'm just going to leave this as it is. It's going to reduce everything quite softly. There's not going to be no harsh reductions. You're not going to notice it doing its job. Let's just have another quick listen. Oh, and again. This is just a broken down part of the melody. This isn't the full melody. So next I'm just going to add in a few other bits of percussion, like a crash. Okay. I think I'm going to use... I'm just going to turn this down a little bit. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to add this in down here to create a new track. I'm just going to drag it up. I'm just going to choose another crash. Symbol 7. I might want to use that as well, so I'm going to drag this in to create another new track. I'm just going to drag this up. I'm going to mute it because I'm not going to use it for the second. I think this was 8.8. I'll set this to. Yeah, okay. I just need to reroute these. Oh, sorry, this will be bus 2 because I've got it set up on a different one. Okay, I've got my crashes. I've pretty much now got everything I need to lay out my song. So this is it for this video. In the second video, I will show you how I've laid the song out and structured it. I'll show you the melody changes that I've made. As I said, this here isn't the main melody. This is just sort of an intro. I've already got the main melody figured out, and I'll put that in. And I'm just going to go through and show you how I've laid it out. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching this one. Remember, if you like the video, click that thumb. Remember to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.